Brooks, going off of what Dr. Haber said, that the frontal cortex it isn't fully developed yet. Frontal cortex. Did I just get that right, Dr. Haber?
Yeah, frontal cerebral cortex.
Frontal
the frontal
cerebral
lobe is
cortex.
The higher reasoning.
All right, great.
Yeah.
So going off of that, and also sort of going off of what Lance was saying, is sort of like, I personally don't believe that because of the science behind children and growing up and social hierarchies, we're ever going to be able to fully get rid of bullying, but we can sort of change the rhetoric that bullies use. We can make it so that being gay or seeming gay or whatever that actually is isn't abnormal. Do you feel that, as someone who works in bullying, do you feel that way, or do you feel like we can abolish bullying completely?
No, we definitely can't abolish bullying. Many people think bullying is strictly a learned behavior, but if you think it's a strictly a learned behavior, you'll never understand bullying. We're wired for aggression in the amygdala of our brain. Sociologists call it the law of reciprocity. If you treat me like crap, I'm going to treat you like crap. I mean, kids are born bullying their parents, screaming, kicking their brothers and sisters. It's human nature, just like Lance said. We'll never get rid of it. And concerning normalizing or the homosexual community being totally accepted across the board, that's something that I don't see ever happening either. Because you have fundamental beliefs based in Judeo-Christian theology that basically says homosexuality is a sin. So asking millions of people to approve homosexuality is asking them to deny their core beliefs, and that's, I imagine, exceedingly frustrating for the community.
But I would say not to get too far into this, but I would say that even people who believe those fundamental beliefs are faster than we've seen before moving over to disregard those beliefs. They stick with their religion, but they've started to accept homosexuality as something that's not going away, that isn't a choice. So I mean, we're seeing more acceptance of it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. You know, to your point, but my point is, we live in a world full of hate, prejudices. We are more polarized morally, ethically, politically, and religiously than ever before in the history of our nation. We have friction, and I think it's important to teach resilience. Not to make the whole world moral. Aristotle said 2,400 years ago, one thing government can never do is make its people moral. But what we can do is help people get tougher so that they're not so wounded and sensitive when someone hates on them.
So you think, sorry, go ahead, Dr. Haber.
Well, no, I think it's true. I mean, I've been working in the resilience field a long time. I think resilience is actually a key thing, which is developing a skill set to help kids, to help people bounce back from difficult times, as well as like developing what it takes to kind of face any challenge. But, you know, the thing is that you can't really say in this case, like bullying there is an aggressive side of it for everyone, because we are born, as you said, aggressively. But our culture is really teaching kids to learn how to use that aggression in ways that cause bullying much more. Only 5% of kids are actually born with brains that don't have that empathy and have that more antisocial side that cause chronic bullying, almost irregardless of their environment. But most 95% of people who bully can relearn, can find other ways to do it differently, and that's what we have to focus on.
Of course.
I think legislating, legislating anti-bully laws to try to reform these kids is a futile attempt. My biggest frustration with the anti-bully movement is this: they try to indirectly help victims. And what I mean by that is they try to change the world around the victim to make utopia, when we all know bullying is not a school issue, but a human nature issue that follows every facet of life. And so what we need to do is help directly the victim respond to their bully, and we can teach them skills that can turn their bully right around. That's empowerment.
Right.